Be Still My Soul, one of my favorite hymns. We sang that this morning because we sang that at Beth's memorial service. How many years ago was it? 6 years ago since Beth died. Words are very appropriate for us today, aren't they? Be still my soul. All the things that are happening in our lives, all the storms that are raging about us, our soul needs to be still. We need to be peace in our hearts. In the last verse, be still my soul, the hour is hastening on, when we shall be forever in God's peace. When disappointment, fear, grief, and fear are gone, love's joys restored, our strivings all shall cease. Be still my soul, when change and tears are past, all safe and blessed, we shall meet at last. Powerful words for us to live by. And we ask that God would still our soul and still our hearts in these difficult times of our life. I want to talk about the gospel reading this morning. It's the healing of Bartimaeus. I don't think I've preached about this for a long time. But anyway, the blind beggar sitting alongside the road, he sees the crowd or hears the crowd coming, and he calls out, Jesus of Nazareth, have mercy on me. And then Jesus heard the voice and the commotion, and he asked him to come. And he said, what do you want me to do? And what did he say? He said, my teacher, let me see again. And Jesus said, go, your faith has made you well. To me, this is a metaphor. Okay? Either that or he's just speaking to the blind people, and people who are blind would be very frustrated and praying to God over and over that their sight would be restored, and it's not. But I want to say that all of us need our sight restored. Okay? I went to the optometrist this week, and he looked on his chart. He said 7 years. I said, oh, I probably shouldn't have left it that long. And I'm having the start of a cataract. And he said, because of the cataract, you used to be nearsighted here and farsighted here, and now it's totally switched. And I said, well, maybe that's why my glasses don't work anymore. He said, yeah, that's why it doesn't work anymore. But that's what happens, right? Our sight begins to go as we get older, and it can be very difficult and challenging. Sight is one of the most important things that we use every day. But I suggest that all of us need to be healed from our blindness. And what I'm talking about is that we don't always see the things that we need to see. One of them, I've talked about depression. Probably some of you think I talk about it too much. But I talk about it because I know that it's pervasive in our society, and we're usually caught off guard. When suddenly something happens to somebody, there's a suicide in our families or friends or somebody, and we're totally taken aback because we often don't see the pain that other people are carrying. And that's for a couple of reasons. One is that we're so busy, right? We're so busy with our world and our life and our own pain, it's hard for us to see what other people are carrying. And depression is one of those things that people don't like to talk about. They don't want to admit that they have depression. I think it's like having an allergy, okay? We're very, oh, why are you sniffling or coughing? Oh, I have allergies. People are very quick to talk about the allergies that they have, but depression seems to be some kind of fault that we don't want anybody else to see. The most powerful thing that happened to me in my life was my depression. That's why I'm able to talk about it as freely and openly as it is the thing that has motivated me to be the person that I am today. And after nearly 44 years of pastoring, it still motivates me to keep preaching and to sharing the message. We have to get over this stigma of mental health. And when we have mental health struggles, and all of us do, we can't hesitate to get some help for it, to talk to somebody about it, or to share with our family and friends that, you know what? I'm slipping. I'm going through a difficult time. I need some help. I need your support. I need your prayers. One of the other things that we're blind to is how we are in relationships. When people come to me with relationship issues, usually husband and wife, but it can be children or parents or whatever, okay, I ask, usually I'll say, and this was after many years, I'll say, what % do you think you carry in this relationship issue? And men usually say 20%. And that's all right. Do you know what women say? About 10%. It's funny, it's comical, and it's sad. Okay? And this is the reason. It's our ego. Our ego does not allow us to see ourselves the way we really are. It prevents us from doing so because it would be too difficult or too painful for us to see ourselves as we are. So we put up blinders, and we can so easily, can't we? We can so easily see other people's faults. And sometimes we're so eager to share with them what we see, but we cannot see our own faults, our own mistakes, and our own troubles, and our own pain. That's the difficulty that we have. So this man who was blind, it was very easy for him to speak out and say, "Give me my sight." But for those who don't realize that they are blind, it's hard for them to even say the prayer or to say the words, "Lord, give me my sight." Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, was blind, but now I see. We all have that. We all have that capability of seeing others' faults and not seeing our own. We don't see the role that we play in conflict. And whenever there's conflict, I've said this before, you have to take at least 50%. If you give 80% of the difficulties to the other person, then the solution, the resolution to your conflict and your problems lies firmly in the hands of another person. And the chances of that being resolved becomes lesser and lesser. If God would open our eyes and help us to see ourselves as we truly are, and to understand that when we have an issue and a problem, both of us, all of us are involved in this problem. When we can see this and admit this, we can say that prayer, "God, open my eyes. Help me to see myself as I truly am. Help me to see the world as it truly is." It's another issue about blindness today, isn't it? With the anti-maskers and the anti-vaxxers and all of the stuff that's flying back and forth. We're not truly understanding and listening and seeing each other, are we? We're blind to this, okay? And this compounds the situation. The political issues and problems that are happening in Western Canada and particularly in the States, it's because we can't see, we can't hear, and we don't understand. As Christians, we are called to this life. We are called to see and to understand and find compassion, love, and forgiveness. We have to do a better job. I have to do a better job. You have to do a better job. The prayer today is, God, give us our sight. Help us to see again.